Alright guys, this is my Dodge Dakota 4.7 liter V8. It's a 2003 and I've been working on cars my whole life in and out, but I went to put new spark plugs in this guy, and this is where the spark plugs are. You can see that little bolt right there, a little nut you got to take off, and then this is what comes off with it. I've never seen that before. And then you know, this goes back down in there on the plug. How will you be able to see that? But right down there's a plug. This thing goes down on it, and then this little guy plugs into here. I just never seen that before. So I'm in the process of swapping plugs and had to take my air cleaner cover off. And I think before I'm done, I'll have to take my throttle body cover off in order to get to the plugs on this side, because I looked it up because I've never worked on a truck like this, and it says that you got to take some of the air hoses, which this would be one of them, in order to get, I think I can get to the bolt, but in order to pull that guy off. And I'm only doing one at a time so I don't get them mixed up. But this is the 2003 4.7 liter V8, and it's a pain. I'm used to working on old Ford 150, F-150s and 250s, and the older vehicles that you just stick a 5/8 inch deep well socket in there and pull them out, and you don't have to go through all this nonsense of unplugging stuff. And then I'm assuming this actually goes down here to the, I think that's the injector. In fact, I know it is, because this is the fuel rail coming off the throttle body, and that goes straight down into the injector. So that's the injector. The wire comes up, goes into the same harness that the spark plugs are coming out of. Pain in my butt, I tell you what. I just hope nothing else has to go wrong on this thing. I just had the oil change today. I don't do it here because I really don't, you know, I know how to do it. It's just a matter of doing it. It's so much easier just to drive it in somewhere and let them do it. In fact, I used to work at a lube shop, a couple different lube shops for years, and so it's not that I don't know how to do it. It's just a pain in the butt. And I just dropped my, I can't even see it with this. Right there. That right there, that little silver thing, that's my deep well socket, the 5/8 inch socket. I don't think I can even get my hand down in here and get it. I got a hold of it, but I don't think I can bring it back up. Alright y'all, I'm back here working on the Dakota. Let me see if I can get you cleared up. There we go. I found a bunch of got a bunch of 3/8 inch extenders with a 5/8 inch socket on the end, and might have to get out my, there we go. So normally I would be holding them extensions with my left hand, but I'm filming. I'll go ahead and try to see if I can set you down here. I think I got it out. To get it out, I'm just going to take the thing that was on it and stick that down in there and pull it out. I used to have, on the old V8s, I used to carry a spare spark plug boot on a stick, and put it on there and use that to pull the spark plugs out when they were hard to get to. But that's one old plug out. And it's not too bad, but a lot better when they're new. The next job will be to put a new fuel filter in this guy. sure that's going to be a pain in the arse. And like I said, you just keep doing that over and over with it. You put the new one in, and then you know. I just got the cheap ones. I don't need no radium or none of that crap. There's the old one, and there's the new one side by side. And they should be pre-gapped. I'll double check them just in case, but that should be it. So that's how you change the spark plugs on a 2003 Dodge Dakota 4.7 liter V8. And then to get this thing back in there without damaging the plug, again, I just stick it down inside there, and you can get it started this way too. You can just stick it, well, I don't know if I'll be able to get it started on here, but stick it in there and just screw on it until you get her started. Okay, it's started. And I just pop that off, plugs down in there, and it's started. So then I just take my ratchet, get that guy down in there. Tell you what, to get her going, I'm just gonna take the ratchet off and just spin it by hand until I get her tight. And you don't want to over tighten these, because you can bust them. You just want them hand snug, and then just a hair more just to make sure they're tight. You don't barely want to turn it at all once you get them tight. And that's that one in. And then this guy goes back on here. Oops, got him backwards. Make sure you got them down on there all the way. And then you take your, where'd it go? Where's my little, there it is. Be careful when you're doing this not to bump any of your tools across the battery cables or the battery connections, because you know you're either weld your socket to them or short everything out. But this is a nut that came off of it. Just get down in here, get her going. Alright, get down in here with my ratchet. And again, that's a 10mm socket. You can equate that to standard if you want. This is just what I happen to have. So now I'm not getting... I think I originally took that one off with a wrench, but right, I'm still changing the spark plugs. It's taking me forever on this thing. Had to take the cover off here. Took that off. Had to undo a couple hoses. I know where they go back, but and then there's these guys. These I believe go to, I want to say the air conditioner, but I'm not positive. But they, you know, you can't move them a whole lot, and there's these clips that snap over top of them. I had to undo those on both sides, and then this one I got completely off right here, and that just bolts back on. But that gave me the room to get down to that plug hole, which I'm getting ready to put the plug back in now, right there. Like I said, you take the thingamabob, I don't know what they're called, I'm not real familiar with these newfangled thingamajigs, and that holds it on there. I did, like I said, I did the same thing back in the day with the old the the old standard spark plug boots, and that holds them enough to where you can get them down in there. It's kind of hard to do with one hand, hold all these pipes and stuff out of the way. It's even harder with this one because you have to pass that little bolt right there that goes through that hole. You have to pass that, so usually it takes 1 or 2 turns. So I get her in there and see if I can get this guy turned here. That's basically how I do it. It takes really 2 hands, and then once I get her in there, I'll run her in with the socket, and then I'll be back with you here in a minute. Alright, y'all, I got 7 out of the 8 changed. It's taken me forever because they're so tight of spots, and it's so different from changing regular plugs. But I got all 4 on that side changed. I got, you can't even really see it, that one, that one, and now I got to change this one, which is directly under these lines. And I'm thinking the only way to do it is to pop this little clip and see if I can't move them a little bit farther one way or the other, because I can't get to that. I can't get to that at all with them lines there. Just one more thing to take off and have to put it right back on. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop that clip and see if I can't move these. Alright guys, in order to get to this one back in here, I had to take off the clip that's right here, which just snapped. Then I can lift it up enough to actually get to it. It's still tight, but I think I can get to it. Now I can pull this automatic transmission fluid hose out of the way, and if I hold both of them out of the way, I think I can get to it. So that's what I'm going to try, and I'll get back with you here in a minute. Alright guys, I did get the last one out, but I just wanted to do a quick recap. I know this isn't the normal video I normally do, the type of video, but I needed to change the plugs in my truck, and I couldn't find any help out there for, you know, how to go about doing it, because I had never worked on this type of a plug before, or this type of a setup. And so I figured, okay, since there's no video up, maybe I can do one, and maybe that'll help somebody change plugs on their truck. So plugs are these things here. Well, these are normally you've got the boot and the wire. This contains both. You have to undo those nuts. And once you get that off, you have to unclip this clip right here. It's real simple. You just squeeze and pop off, and then this thing pops off, and then this is what it looks like once it's popped off. That's where the screw goes. That's where that plug connects. I just got hooked here. Okay, and then you can see I've got the new plug in here. I'm using these to put my new plugs in and get them started. You only have to do it like 1 turn and they're started, and you just pop them off. 5/8 inch for the plugs, obviously. 10 millimeters for these little guys here to take the bolts off. You do have to undo there's a little clip here holding these 2 pipes together. There's a clip here, and then there's another clip over here that I actually took off the motor. Then you also have to take off the cover for it goes over your throttle body, and then your hose coming down to your breather assembly, and then this guy comes off the breather assembly. This hose actually sits down, you know, underneath the whole setup, and then this hose gets clamped back into, or no, it's this hose gets clamped into that little clip right there. Keep all your bolts and everything so you don't lose nothing. You're gonna need a flathead screwdriver, 10 centimeter or 10 millimeter wrench. I found helpful a 10 millimeter socket, 5/8, 2 4 inch or 4.5 inch extensions, 1 2 inch extension, and 3/8 inch drive, a ratchet, and you know, the socket's already described. Now they say to unplug your negative battery cable, but I don't like doing that. As long as you're careful and you keep your boot on, you don't have to worry about nothing. Just remember where everything goes and keep your bolts organized to where you know exactly where everything goes. Like I said, these are what you're looking for. They're all pretty easy except for the one right here and the one right up here in the front underneath these pipes. Those are the two hardest ones. And then that's how you change the plugs on the 4.7 liter 2003 Dodge Dakota. Then you can check whatever you need to check while you're down here. I've been hearing a lot of tips lately that you're supposed to take and use an air hose or something and blow all this out. You can, or just be careful and not bring any debris in with your plug. That's what I've been doing, is just being careful, because I don't have an air hose handy. But then you can do all your maintenance, whatever you gotta do, check fluids, you know, lube your belts, whatever, while you're at it. But that's how you do your plugs. If you got any comments or questions, whatever, please feel free to let me know. I hope this helps somebody, and as always guys, thanks for watching. Alright guys, this is what you need the screwdriver for. When you go to put your cover back on, it pops in there and you have to screw it in. And you have the same thing with your hose that goes to your cover from your air cleaner. That's what you use your screwdriver for. I just thought I'd mention that. And then this thing just you have to kind of wiggle it and push it on. It fits on there. And then get all your hoses and everything connected back up. Nothing's going nowhere here. And I got to rotate that a little bit. There we go. And that all lines up with that right there. This goes down in there. And then it'll get twisted in. And then I got to put this bracket back on still, so you know, and then you just put everything back together the way I took it off and you're good to go. So anyway guys, like I said, I hope that helps somebody on this question. Let's put everything back together.